Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3, Chapter 29, Text 5. So Bhakti Yoga is the sun-like illumination for delivering the conditioned souls, whose general condition is described here. We already started with the purport of this, right? Purport of this text 5. So Bhakti Yoga is like the sun-like illumination for delivering the conditioned souls, whose general condition is described here. They have no eyes to see their own interests. They do not know that the goal of life is not to increase the material necessities of existence, because the body will not exist more than a few years. So what we are doing is, since we are born, and then as we grow up, we go to school and everywhere around us, we are just being, the idea that we are the body is being enforced upon us. You know, wherever we look, advertisement, things to buy, making ourselves more beautiful, more and more. We forget, we have forgotten we are the soul. But with so much propaganda around us going on, we don't even begin to inquire. We don't even doubt that, oh, I don't think I'm the body, you know. We don't doubt, because everywhere it's being enforced. We are the body, we are the body. But in this way, we are wasting valuable time and energy, which is going to keep us here in the material world. The living beings are eternal and they have the eternal need. So this is what we are not able to understand, why there is always something missing. We always, you know, no matter what we do materially, always we say, yes, everything is good, but. So what is that? Because we are the soul, and so we need to be connected to Krishna. That is our need, to love Krishna, which we have forgotten right now. If one engages only in caring for the necessities of the body, not caring for the eternal necessities of life, then he's part of a civilization whose advancement puts the living entities in the darkest region of ignorance. So this is what basically we are doing, only eating, sleeping, mating, defending. All in the darkness, all in darkness. And then what will Mother Nature say? She will say, oh, anyway, you just want to do these activities, you do not need a human body then for it. You can get an animal body. Sleeping in that darkest region, one does not get any refreshment, but rather gradually becomes fatigued. He invents many processes to adjust this fatigue condition, but he fails and thus remains confused. We can see that, you know, no matter how much we improve materially, still that complete bliss is not there. That bliss is not there. The only path of mitigating this fatigue in the struggle for existence is the path of devotional service, or the path of Krishna consciousness. So our material life, we are all trying to imitate God. We are envious that why is God God and why I'm not God. And so we are trying to prove that I am God, I can become God. And because it is unnatural to us, that is what is causing our fatigue, which is called struggle for existence, karshati. Krishna speaks of this karshati in Bhagavad Gita also. So, because we are trying so hard to become someone who we are not. We want to become God, and to imitate him, we are trying so hard, and that's what's giving us fatigue. Our natural position is devotional service. Our natural position is path of Krishna consciousness. As soon as we take it up, this fatigue will automatically disappear. Because anything which is natural, it comes easily without extraneous effort. So that is what we need to do. Is that okay? So reading on, text 6, Maitriya Vacha iti matur vacha shlakshanam prati nandya mahamunihi abha bhase kurushreshta pritastam karunarditaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sri Maitreya said, O best among the Kurus, the great sage Kapila, moved by great compassion and pleased by the words of his glorious mother, spoke as follows. So now, this is again, we are being reminded of this conversation between Lord Kapila and Devahuti is being repeated by Maitreya to Vidur, because Vidur had put some questions to Maitreya Muni. And so Maitreya Muni is repeating to him what Lord Kapila Dev had spoken to Mother Devahuti. We can see this is the parampara system. This is the way to receive the spiritual knowledge. No one manufactures. We don't need to manufacture anything. We simply have to hear in the disciplic succession. Lord Kapila was very satisfied by the request of his glorious mother, because she was thinking not only in terms of her personal salvation, but in terms of all the fallen conditioned souls. So the Lord is happy when we are compassionate on others. Krishna says also in Bhagavad Gita that those who speak this great science to others are very dear to me. He says that. So if we want to become dear to Krishna, we should try to tell others also. So why? So that, because each of us is suffering. We are suffering because we have forgotten our true position. So if we can help others also mitigate their suffering, that is the cause of greatest joy. They will become happy. Krishna becomes happy. We will become happy. The Lord is always compassionate towards the fallen souls of this material world, and therefore he comes himself or sends his confidential servants to deliver them. So God, he's coming himself, time and time again for our benefit, to give us this knowledge, to tell us, hey, get up, you're not the body or the soul, you're mine, you come back to me. So sometimes he comes, sometimes he sends his confidential servants, his confidential devotees. Since he's perpetually compassionate towards them, if some of his devotees also become compassionate towards them, he's very pleased with the devotees. So God is always concerned. He always wants the living entities who are in this material world to come back. And because of that, he's coming time and time again. He is sending his confidential devotees. So if someone really takes up this work on behalf of God, then God is very pleased, because it is his work. He's always thinking about it, how to bring everyone back. So if we also help God in this, then we will become dear to him, because he's pleased by that. In Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly stated that persons who are trying to elevate the condition of the fallen souls by preaching the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, namely full surrender unto the personality of Godhead, are very dear to him. Thus, when the Lord saw that his beloved mother was very compassionate towards the fallen souls, he was pleased, and he also became compassionate towards her. So she attracted more of the mercy of Lord Kapila Dev because of her compassion. Because seeing her so compassionate, Lord Kapila Dev also became compassionate to her. He realized, oh, she's not selfish. She just does not want to get herself liberated, but she's concerned about others also, what's going to happen to everyone else. So in that way, she also attracted the mercy of the Lord. So we can also attract the mercy of the Lord by giving Krishna consciousness to others. That is the work given to us by Lord Caitanya. Yare dekha tare kaha Krishna upadesh. So reading on, Sri Bhagavan Vacha Bhakti Yoga Bahuvidho Marger Bhamini Bhavyate Swabhava Guna Margena Pumsam Bhavo Vibhityate. Lord Kapila, the personality of Godhead, replied, O noble lady, there are multifarious paths of devotional service in terms of the different qualities of the executor. So pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness is one, because in pure devotional service, there is no demand from the devotee to be fulfilled by the Lord. So pure devotional service is service which is performed only for the pleasure of God, to please Him, without any personal motive, without any personal desire, for the pleasure of God, favorable. It is favorable and it is anukul. It is followed by following the footsteps of the previous acharyas. So not manufacturing our own ideas. We don't need to manufacture anything. We simply have to follow. So, but generally people take to devotional service with a purpose. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, people who are not purified take to devotional service with 4 purposes. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 7 that 4 kinds of pious people come to me. A person who is distressed because of material conditions becomes a devotee of the Lord and approaches the Lord for mitigation of his distress. A person in need of money approaches the Lord to ask for some improvement in his monetary condition. Others who are not in distress or in need of monetary assistance, but are seeking knowledge in order to understand the absolute truth, also take to devotional service, and they inquire into the nature of the Supreme Lord. This is very nicely described in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 16. Actually, the path of devotional service is one without a second. But according to the devotee's condition, devotional service appears in multifarious varieties, as will be nicely explained in the following verses. So Krishna says 4 kinds of people are coming to me. Does it mean that if we have some purpose, we should not go to Krishna? Because it's not pure devotional service? What do you think?
In fact, you should go to Krishna without any purpose.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, but we may still have desires. Then what to do? So still, it's glorious to come to Krishna. It is still glorious. Because we may not, all of us may not be immediately on the platform of pure devotional service. So still, whatever we have desire, we desire material desires, we desire liberation, we desire knowledge. As soon as we come to Krishna, we become glorious. And Krishna will fulfill the desires in such a way that he will take away all our material desires and give us the desire for pure devotional service. So whoever comes to Krishna is glorious, whatever is the purpose. Because the path has already started. They have already approached Krishna. So one day or the other, they will become pure devotees. So instead of going to any other demigods to fulfill our desire, or going to any other personality to fulfill our desire, we should approach Krishna for our desires. Of course, higher than that is pure devotional service. But if we have desires, then what to do? Come to Krishna. Come to Krishna. Abhisandhaya yohimsam dambam matsaryam evavam sam rambi binadrik bhavam mai kuryat satamasaha. Devotional service executed by a person who's envious, proud, violent, and angry, and who's a separatist, is considered to be in the mode of darkness. So here now, Lord Kapila Dev is speaking about how devotional service is performed under the modes of nature. Bhakti is actually pure, no? But now how come there's modes of nature? Because we are under the modes of nature. So it depends on what mode of nature we are in. We are engaging devotional service according to that. So this is devotional service under the modes of nature. So it's not that the devotional service is material, but because we are in the modes of nature. So it has already been stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 2nd chapter, that the highest, most glorious religion is the attainment of causeless, unmotivated devotional service. So religion means to love God. That is the point we have to come to love God. And when we love God, automatically we want to serve Him. You know, when we love anyone, our loved ones, we want to serve them. We want to please them. We want to make them happy. So religion means to love God, to serve God, to please God. We each have this loving propensity. But right now, we don't know who shall we love. You know, we have seen that's why sometimes when people are alone and don't have families, then they keep pets so that they can love the pet. So this is there, the need is there in the soul. And this need is not of the body, because a dead body, the dead body does not get anybody else to love. The dead body is dead. So this need to love and to give love, receive love, to serve someone is the need, is the activity of the soul, not of the body. In pure devotional service, the only motive should be to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the point we need to come to. This is the pure devotional service. The only desire is to please the Supreme Lord. This is a liberated platform. This is a platform which is beyond the modes of nature. This is not on the material platform. Pure devotional service begins from the liberated platform, from the Brahma-Bhuta platform. So that is not actually a motive. It is the pure condition of the living entity. This is our real position, to please God. That is our real position. In the conditioned stage, when one engages in devotional service, he should follow the instruction of the bona fide spiritual master in full surrender. The spiritual master is the manifested representation of the Supreme Lord, because he receives and presents the instructions of the Lord as they are by disciplic succession. So the bona fide spiritual master who is coming in the parampara system, he is a bona fide representative of the Lord. He's a representative of the Lord. Just as, you know, when we have embassy of India in Taiwan. So then the ambassador, the Indian ambassador, he represents the Indian government. He represents the president of India in Taiwan. He's a representative. And if we go to the Indian embassy, it's, you know, we can get Indian visa, we can get Indian passports. So because he is authorized, he's authorized by the president. He has been given this power by the president. Similarly, the bona fide spiritual master is authorized by God. He has been given this power by God. And what does he do? He does not misuse it. He presents the knowledge as he has received in the disciplic succession. So a spiritual master is always a disciple. A spiritual master is always a disciple. He must have had a spiritual master. That's how he's become a spiritual master. It is described in Bhagavad Gita that the teachings therein should be received by disciplic succession, otherwise there is adulteration. So Krishna is saying why we should hear the spiritual knowledge in the disciplic succession, so that we can receive the pure knowledge as it is, not the knowledge which has been misinterpreted by someone. To act under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master with a motive to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pure devotional service. But If one has a motive for personal sense gratification, his devotional service is manifested differently. Such a man may be violent, proud, envious, and angry, and his interests are separate from the Lord's. So when the motive is to please the Lord, the motive is to please the Lord under the direction of the spiritual master, it is pure devotional service. But if the motive is not to please the Lord, but the motive is something else, then the devotional service is under different modes, under the modes of nature. So a person who may be violent, proud, envious, and angry, then he is acting under ignorance. Then his devotional service is under the mode of ignorance. One who approaches the Supreme Lord to render devotional service, but who is proud of his personality, envious of others, or vengeful, is in the mode of anger. He thinks that he's the best devotee. Devotional service executed in this way is not pure. It is mixed and is of the lowest grade, tamasaha. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur advises that a Vaishnav who is not of good character should be avoided. A Vaishnav is one who has taken the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the ultimate goal of life. But if one is not pure and still has motives, then he is not a Vaishnav of the first order of good character. One may offer his respects to such a Vaishnav because he has accepted the Supreme Lord as the ultimate goal of life, but one should not keep company with a Vaishnav who is in the mode of ignorance. So a Vaishnav is someone who has accepted that Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord, is the ultimate goal of life. He's a Vaishnava. A devotee of Lord Vishnu or of Lord Krishna is a Vaishnava. But a Vaishnava who is proud, who's angry, he's envious, he's proud of his personality, he's vengeful, he thinks that he's the greatest devotee. So then we need to avoid the association of such a Vaishnava. We need to respect him. We have to respect him because he's a Vaishnava. He's accepted Lord Krishna as the Supreme Lord. So he's much better than most people of the world. Because how many people of the world even know that Krishna or Lord Vishnu is God, you know? At least he's come to that understanding. So he's very good and he deserves our respect. But his association should be avoided. His association should be avoided, and that is the instruction of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is one of the acharyas in our line. He was the disciple of Narottam Das Thakur. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he has written very wonderful prayers. The Guru Vashtakam is also written by him. Exemplary acharya. And so he's saying that one should not keep company with a Vaishnava who is in the mode of ignorance. Any comments or questions?
One question: if a person is not in ISKCON, okay, he's not in that thing, ISKCON, but he is a Vaishnava and he believes in Krishna, he knows that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And okay, he's a saint. So does that also come under the parampara, the system, the disciplic succession? Because even he has a guru, right?
And he is in a disciplic succession. Yeah, then it's a parampara.
Yeah,
as
right.
long as he has a guru, his guru has a guru, his guru has a guru,
Yeah.
guru, and the first person is Krishna. Yeah, because ISKCON is not the only parampara.
Exactly, right? So there are others,
Yeah.
no?
Oh yes, of course. Yes. ISKCON is not the only parampara. We just have to find the bona fide parampara.
Bona fide, yeah.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, there are many parampara would be there, you know.
Yeah.
And as we say that even there are the four Vaishnav Sampradayas, you know. Someone may be from a different Sampradaya, may not be from a Sampradaya beginning from Lord Brahma, but somebody may be from a Sampradaya beginning from Lakshmi Devi, or Sampradaya beginning from four Kumaras, or Sampradaya beginning from Lord Shiva. But as long as they are in the proper, they are following the proper parampara, then it's bona fide, yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So we'll stop here then for today.
Yes, yeah.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for listening and enjoying.